Good day, this is Len Lazarick with MarylandReporter.com, and we're interviewing former Governor Bob Ehrlich about his new book, Turn This Car Around.
Make sure you get it up there right
and he'd like you to buy this book. One of the first things,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Did you actually write
Yes,
this book?
yes. Doesn't say with or
People
in conjunction.
I know,
Yes,
I know.
politicians do that. It's one of my pet peeves.
People often, a lot of people have this view of you as the jock governor.
Yeah.
This is a relatively intellectual book in that it goes through a lot of different themes and you discuss them, think about them.
Well, Kendall says I'm a jock nerd.
A jock nerd.
Which might be oxymoronic, but and you know this for a fact, during my public career, Congress, governor particularly, I wrote my major speeches myself because I really wanted the words to flow out of my mouth in a very comfortable way. And after some experience in the state legislature, I came to the conclusion the best way to do that was to write my own words. Now, I obviously had a staff as governor who helped me on a day-to-day, but major speeches, State of the State, MACO, major speeches, I wrote because I just enjoy writing.
And you're not terribly fond of rhetorical flourish and quoting other people a lot. It's very direct.
When people say I'm blunt, I take that as a compliment.
Right. Almost every chapter in this book is about, where can I find the introduction? Taking on the language battle, taking on the media machine, taking on the multicultural police, taking on economic guilt trips, taking on the mortgage meltdown, taking on the race card. You spend a lot of time in the book talking about race and various topics. Why?
Because when you're talking about cultural battles, economic battles, the great issues of the day, which this book touches upon, I do believe that a common sense majority has to act in an aggressive way. Because the other side, if you will, is pretty aggressive as well. So I draw on some of the chapters of my life, some of the more public anecdotes that you've reported on over the years to make my point. But I do want to stress, Len, this is not a Maryland-centric book. I think you would agree with that. Mm-hmm. This book is written for a national audience. It certainly draws on my experience as a state legislator, as a member of Congress, and as governor of Maryland. But it's for national consumption, particularly in the context of a presidential race.
And you hope to go on some kind of national media tour.
That's correct. Actually, we're scheduled, and December is going to be a very busy month for us.
Mm-hmm. And you hope that people don't see this book as trying to settle scores with the current governor.
Well, the current governor is hardly mentioned in there, and in fact, members of the legislature are hardly mentioned, only in the context of making a larger point about national issues. So I don't know how anyone could draw that conclusion, and I suspect they won't, which will make me happy. If they want to draw a conclusion that there are certain scores, challenges, fights, conflicts out there that impact our culture and our economy, yeah, and that's what I want you to take away from the book. The stakes are very high.
Particularly how the business community acts in terms of
yeah, that's one of my pet peeves. Guilty. That may be the most personal quote-unquote score here, but also it's a national phenomenon as well. I have seen over the years, you've reported on a lot of my speeches over the years, this dichotomy where business interests will give money to everybody, all the candidates. They want to be with the winner. They want crumbs from the winner's table. The left, the trial lawyers, some of the more extreme environmental groups, organized labor, Code Pink, you name it, whatever. They play for keeps. They hit you in the mouth if you're a Republican or a conservative or a libertarian. They want you to lose. They put all their money on one side, and as a result, they're taken more seriously as opposed to the business community.
Playing for keeps, the approach you recommend here is don't back down.
Don't back down.
Get in their face.
Yeah, you have to, and I've tried to do that. I mean, you do it in a classy way. It's not a fist fight, but when the stakes are the future of our economy, the future of our culture, the ability of your kid to get a good job, these stakes are pretty high. So I do advocate for a very aggressive approach to these cultural and economic issues.
Thanks for being with us today. And this is Len Lazarick with MarylandReporter.com.